What up, fish people?
That's on. There we go. Hello, everyone. Numbers are going up. Wait a second. Scott's Aquatics. He has an awesome name. I like it.
Yeah, I figured you might like his name.
Jason's here. Bigfoot Fish Tanks.
Yeah, I figured you might like his name. Oh, let me get that turned off. There we go. So finally we get to meet Mr. Scotty.
And while we don't have lefty or skipper, we got someone better with Kenny here. I'm excited.
What's going on, guys?
Very excited.
They're all coming in now.
Where's my batter? There we go.
Got Scott's, Bigfoot Fish Tanks, Mr. Dennis, Depths Unknown.
Yeah, numbers going up. I like it. Can barely hear me. See, we're still having audio problems. Let me try switching these off again. How's the audio now?
I hear you fine.
I can hear you now, too. See, these things are screwed up.
That is strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's no echo.
There is an echo?
There is not one, so it sounds good now.
See? Jason,
Strange.
is that better? Your part.
Sounds good on mine.
All right. Scott says he met me last year. I apologize. I don't remember you. There's many people that I met last year that I don't remember.
That's why I'm looking forward to the ACA, man.
I really wish I could make that. I'm a Killy guy, and with it being the AKA conference, I've never been to one. I wish I could go to that. I have live bears, so I'd love that. I got a couple cichlids. I got the rainbows. It would be perfect for me. And I love that area, too. I went out to Louisville a couple years ago. Oh, my audio is fuzzy, but that's normal for you. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Annette. I got to figure something out. I got to get something better. Yeah, every week it's a different issue with it. Rookie errors, you know.
Speaking of little Miss Annette, she's got a big premiere hitting tomorrow night after DaniKen Aquatics.
Something about snails.
Yep. It's gonna be a cool video, so you'll be sure to tune in at 7:05 p.m. Pacific tomorrow night, 10:05 Eastern.
I am excited for that. If the little hints about it, the previews that are going around are anything similar to what this video is going to be, it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Sounds like you're garring. Well, I do apologize, everyone, for the bad audio, but I don't know what to do, to be honest with you.
Do you got a regular port that you can plug headphones into?
I do have the other headphones.
Yeah, but I've always just plugged in. It's the most efficient way there is, I think. Then you don't get all that static, usually anyway.
It didn't work well the last time, but oh crap. Let's see.
You hear me okay?
There we go. How's this?
I hear you perfect. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do. I get these things to stay in my ears.
There you go.
All right.
Little better.
A little better.
Banowski, what's going on, brother?
I can never say that damn name no matter how hard I try.
I've had a few years practice with it. He comes into my streams all the time, so I know his name.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get started with a couple of updates and announcements and stuff like that. I'd like to start by asking everyone to keep Rico in your thoughts. Uh, his Tucker passed away today, so
Oh man.
yeah. So that not only was it an adorable dog, obviously very close with Rico. So keep him in your thoughts, please, everyone.
It's like your
Also,
kid.
as we mentioned already, Mystery Snail Guardians is doing a big video tomorrow night. I'm very excited for that. So please subscribe to her channel and set that alert so you don't forget. Keystone Clash stuff. The pizza party, it's official. It's happening. I got a room for you guys to do it in. We got the pizzas being donated by one of our sponsors that we reached out to. They're going to donate the pizzas, and a few of us are working on the beverage aspect. That's for the Fish Fam dinner. That's going to be Friday night. Other news with the Clash. Something I can't remember. I was talking with Skipper. He couldn't remember. Lefty couldn't remember. Rico couldn't remember. Nobody could remember. But someone in one of these streams said, hey, it would be cool if we could play music at the Clash. The members of the Fish Fam. There's, I guess, a few musicians. And we figured it'd be cool to have some live music going. And it's always amazing to see the different talents that the Fish Fam has. So I reached out to the hotel and talked to the Keystone Clash committee, and we have a spot that we would love for you guys to play music. Obviously, it's going to be challenging with the travel, bringing instruments and stuff like that. But if there's anyone interested in playing live music, it needs to be family appropriate, and it has to be done at 10 o'clock. But we have a spot for you to do it, and we would welcome it. We would love it. I don't care if it's playing the guitar, singing, or playing the flute, whatever floats your boat. And what I think would be really amazing would be if a few people got together and played together. I think that would be really great. Wasn't that Kyle that asked about music? Maybe it was. Yeah, that would make sense. So, whoever, the more the merrier. We ask that it not be Saturday night because we will have the award ceremony going on. But Thursday night for those that are arriving early. Friday night, if you want to do it in the Fish Fam pizza party, that's fine too. Whatever. But it is okay. We did clear it with the hotel, so that's exciting. And then also we have one vendor space left. The vendor room, the big expo room, is sold out except for one spot, literally. And I'll even check right now, just to make sure I'm not lying to you. There's an app for that. Yep, we still got one spot left. A 10 by 10 spot in the vendor room. There's 54, 55 spots, I forget the exact number, in that expo hall. And obviously there's not 50-some vendors, because there's quite a few vendors that have a few spots. We have one, I think it's Pleco Hotels, I believe it's called, has 5 vendor spots. It's going to be an amazing exhibit. The Fish Fam has 4, and Super Cichlids has 4. Cuboid Aquariums, I believe it's called, or it's Cuboid. I always call them Cuboid. They have 4 spots, so it's going to be great. We have about 32 vendors, which is huge.
Hey, just getting out and seeing fish people talking fish stuff. It's
exactly.
I mean, it's the experience you're going for. I mean, there could be one vendor and you're going to get the same experience. You get to hang out with fish geeks, enjoy yourself.
There's just so much to do, and we're trying to cater as much as we can to those that attend. So we wanted to go big with the vendor room. The biggest complaint last year was the size of our vendor room and how crowded it was. So we made it like 10 times bigger. We have some amazing speakers coming. There's going to be 5 different speakers doing 9 talks. So that will be great. The award ceremony and the fish show. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And there's so many different areas for everyone to go and socialize and do fish fam things. So we're excited for that. Hello, Patty, Bigfoot, Scott. I said hello to you guys. Nano Aquarium guy, hello. Annette and Vinoxy. Can never say it. See? Jason. Oops. Didn't mean to make that. I forgot that's what that does. And that's all I am seeing in the chat. But hello to all the lurkers also. Do you know who all the speakers are, and can you tell us? Absolutely, because they are also on the Keystone Clash website, which I will go right to for you. Let's see here. Sneak peek and about, I think, is where it is. Oh, I clicked the wrong darn button. I know we have a gentleman by the name of Kapil. He is from Alyssa's Seahorse Farm, and he's going to be doing a talk on seahorses. We have Greg Steves, Tom Keegan, Jim Cumming, and Joe Gargis also. So a lot of great talks. Kenny still doesn't have the DaniKen shirt.
I will get that going. I keep forgetting, Patty. I gotta get busy. I'm sitting here doing nothing all day throughout the week, so I'll get that done this week. And I will bring them to the ACA.
Patty says, "Is that a wire, Scotty, or are you happy to see me?" This is a wire. Yes, indeed.
I love Patty to death, man.
You never know what you're going to get out of Patty. Is there a sign up for a vendor table for Fishtoberfest?
I'll get a hold of you after Mystery Snail Guardians. Yes, you can reserve right now, and I have sheets that you can fill out. So yes, you just call me or text me or whatever.
And you know, in that there is still one vendor spot left at Keystone Clash for when you're when you hop in Shanna's suitcase to come. Just saying. The seahorse talk, I'm skipping to do some day drinking. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. And don't forget, everyone, we have a hospitality room. We have a hospitality room.
I don't think I'll make it this year, but I bet you I'll be able to make it next year.
That's I am already getting excited for the 2023 Clash. It's so weird to be working on it. Normally, everyone, we're normally just starting to open registration for the Clash right now. We opened it in January this year. We normally don't sign that contract until a month or two ago, so like February or March is usually when we sign the contract. We open it up in May or so. And to think that we already have a courtesy hold with the hotel for all the rooms that we're getting for the 2023 Clash. Joel, our speaker chair, is already working on speakers for 2023. Yeah, it's amazing. It's overwhelming, to be perfectly honest with you. All right, that's enough of all of that. I don't want to waste any more time from focusing on Kenny. So, Kenny, thank you again for joining us. This is perfect. So, last week we had Shanna. This week we have Kenny talking about the same club. For those of you that are new to this stream, while I love to chat in a stream and involve everyone in the chat and very similar to what like Rico does, I wanted to have a topic that I sort of stayed on. And clubs are something I'm very passionate about. I'm a member of, I always forget how many it is, but we'll say about 4 or 5 clubs that are local. There's probably 5 to 10 clubs that are within 2 hours of me. So I'm blessed to have that.
You are, my friend. I got to drive.
Yeah.
Well, my main club here is, in town, but
Right.
the other two I belong to, one's 3 hours north in Seattle. The other's 2.5 hours south in Eugene. So
That's amazing. It's sad. It's downright sad. Um, so I love my local clubs. I do my best to support all of them. I'm vice president of the one. I'm former secretary of another, former board of director of another. And I'm very, very active at 2 of them still. Obviously, the one I'm vice president of is one. There's another 2 that I'm not as active at, and then one that I'm.
it's tough to be active member.
Yeah.
I mean,
and especially when they hold different events at the same time as one another. I always hope that everyone communicates and does them separately. So it's interesting I try to do different clubs, different areas is my goal. So far, we've had the Cichlid Club of York with Blake. He's the president of that one. And they are also the co-hosting club of the Keystone Clash, along with the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. And then we had Shanna from Goopus, Greater Portland Aquarium Society. And we got her take on it as a club member. And now, this is very exciting for me to have Kenny, as president, have his take on it. So this is interesting, and I hope, while it can be challenging, I'm hoping to be able to do something like this where we have both standpoints on it from other clubs also. So before we get started, just a couple more hellos I want to say. Hello, Bruiser. I don't recognize that name, so hello and welcome. And Select Pet, hello. Thank you for joining us. Driving, so can't be too active. I understand. I watch a lot of the replays while I'm driving to work because it's a good 45-minute drive for me. So, Kenny, how long have you been a member of the club?
I've been a member of this club for 5 years.
That's a long time.
And I've been president. I've started my 2nd term. So
oh, wow.
Exciting. This technically is my last term. We only allow 2 years at a time.
Really?
So, believe me, with Fishtoberfest, getting ready for all that, hey, I'm ready to take the wheel. Let somebody else have it for a little while. But, I mean.
Now, is it the president that runs Fishtoberfest, or is that your gig?
I am the president.
Right.
And I am the one that has done most of the work. I have a lot of good members that help. That are board members. Ryan Mackey, and then I've got Ryan Brown, who has I guess he's PNW Aqua now, but he's another one of our. We have a lot of members that are YouTubers, which is awesome.
That's amazing.
We have Atkins Nature Aquariums is our club. We have Annette hasn't been to a meeting yet, but I'm sure she will be eventually.
She'll probably bring snails.
And then we've got 503 Aquatics.
Yeah.
PNW, and who am I missing? I think that's it, as far as YouTubers.
Now, so next year, when you're no longer president, will you still be in charge of Fishtoberfest?
I think the idea is they still want me to be active in that, yes.
Awesome.
But I don't know if it's just going to be helping wrangle speakers or what, but I welcome, Danny and I have got a lot of things going on in our lives at the moment that after I'm done with this term, not to say I'll be done forever, but a year or 2 off sounds great. Let the next guy do it. And
I know you guys want to do some traveling and stuff. So
we plan to go to Australia in 2024.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're gonna do.
So what got you into the club?
My wife was the first one that ventured out. I was working at the time. And anyway, she got to talk about it. I really had blast, blah, blah, blah. You have to come to it. Okay, I'll do that. And anyway, we got hooked. Good club, good place, good peeps. And then once I got involved, then they made me a board member. And that's when I started doing a little bit more, and then
Reel your rate in. It happens all the time.
then I got reeled into the presidency, and I've been president for about a year and a half now. So
wow. What is one of your favorite memories of the club so far?
Fishtoberfest. I mean, I can't explain it. Last year was our first year, and we were, I thought it was going to be successful if we got like 250 people. I really did. We ended up having almost 1,000 people through. So it was like 5 times the amount we thought. All the tables were completely sold out by noon. Wow. There were a couple of tables I think had little scraps left, and the only reason that they did is they were able to go back and get more stuff from their shop and come back.
That's amazing.
Danny and I's table, we sold out in about an hour and a half. So
holy crap!
Yeah, next year.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Oh yeah, I mean it was crazy.
Wow.
And
what's the one that Lefty went to recently?
Aquaticon, yeah, down in Tennessee.
And they were saying they had 800 some people also. I can only imagine.
Well, the thing you have to understand about our area, think about it. How many major events do you hear in the West Coast?
Right.
We occasionally, on the very rare occasion, and it will only be down south in Sacramento, we'll get the ACA through.
Right.
About once any 5-6 years, and if we're lucky, we'll get the Aquatic Gardeners Association about once every 6 years, 7 years. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I had a couple of club members. I talked to them. I'm like, guys, I'm tired of us having to travel to go to an event. Wouldn't it be cool if we had one here? And I just kind of dropped the seed, and then once I got the okay, that I went and incorporated all my fish fam friends. I got Lucas Pretz on board. I got Dan's Fish on board. I got Alex with the History of Living in Your Aquarium on board. And then Bob Steenfach came down. All these YouTubers, and no cost to us, obviously, just started promoting the event. And then
now, where's the venue? What kind of venue do you have it in?
We use it in the Embassy Suites. And the reason I like the Embassy Suites is that the minute you walk in the lobby, it feels like you are at a fish event. They got these illustrious ponds and streams that go through that link around the entire lobby, and with extravagant waterfalls, and it's just a cool atmosphere. I was trying to ask them. I said, if we got a little break on our venue, I am sure I could get my club and we could do a few weeks of maintenance on this for you and put some fish that are actually cool in your ponds instead of the goldfish are rough looking that are in there. But I would love to be able to, and you wouldn't believe the red tape when you're dealing with corporate type folks. It's not just a matter of hopping in their ponds and start doing them a solid. You got to go through the layers. But I have ideas what I'd like to do to it, but I got to get the approval through them. But I would love to put some plants and really make it super.
Now, do they have like a big expo hall or a banquet hall?
Oh, we have the ability to expand for the next 10 years. They've got these series of rooms that they can open up. Okay, last year was successful, so this year let's open this up for you.
Yeah.
But what I like about it that's really unique that I've gone to many events.
Right.
With our venue, the only way to the speaker room is through the venue. You have to go through the venue to get to the speakers. Same thing when they come out for the break or they come out between speakers, they're in the venue again.
I like that.
That's the only thing I hate about events is that you're enjoying yourself. You're talking to fish friends. You're in the middle of all the action, checking things out, and then it's like you got to walk a half a city block to get to your speaker.
Right.
That was one of the things that was a real big thing to me was being able, if somebody's enjoying themselves and talking in the main lobby in the venue to some friends, which that's what these are designed for. I wanted them to be able to, wait to the last possible moment, hop out in and watch the speaker. But
we had the class used to be at a I think it was like a Red Lion or something, or maybe that's the town, I forget. But it was a hotel, and it was not the cleanest. It was not the best by any means. It was cheap, really freaking cheap. But it also didn't offer any growing room for it either. And after my second clash that I was at, a part of. I wasn't the leader for it. I said, we got to find a new venue. This is not good for our attendees. And we got this new one. It's a hell of a lot cleaner, and it has a really nice ballroom, but we grew out of it last year. But attached to it is an antique car auto mall
Oh,
that
nice.
has 2 empty expo rooms, and that's where the gun show was last year for those that were there. And it's attached to it. It's right next to where we were this year, and so we got one of those 2 rooms now. And I forget the dimensions, but it's absolutely freaking huge. But we are already about to, or literally about to, fill up that room. So we're planning for the other one also. So this year we're still keeping all of the rooms that we were in last year and adding the one big room, the biggest of the room, which is like everything all put together. And now that 2023, we're keeping everything in the hotel, the one expo room and the other expo room. So that's good. Now, if we fill that up, we are maxed out.
Right.
We are maxed out. But it's amazing to hear that how many attendees you have at your event and Aquaticon, and how successful. The Keystone Clash attendance-wise is a lot less. In the previous years, it was 100 or less, and so far this year, we are just over 100, and our goal is 200, which I think is a bit much.
You guys are on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
Something else I would highly recommend
Mm-hmm.
is create the event, and for a couple $100, boost the event.
Yeah.
And it will send it to any. You can create the parameters of people you want this event to drop at. But single-handedly, I'll imagine that brought in 300 people at itself.
Really?
We had for $200 or $300 last year, and I think I said it I had a pretty sizable region. You know, probably as far past Montana and stuff, but we had 50,000 or 60,000 views on that.
Wow. Okay.
And these are all local fish folk. You know, it's by parameters. So, but I would recommend that.
One of our issues is lack of hotel room availability.
Really?
We doubled our block of hotel rooms from last year, and Saturday night we have 14 rooms left. Thursday night is sold out, I believe, or has single digits left. Friday night has in the teens, and Sunday is in the single digits or sold out.
Yeah, I'm interested. This year we're doing a 2-day event. Last year was a single day, and we got those kind of for one day.
Holy shit! 1 day?
Yeah, 1 day.
Wow.
And this year I wanted to do. Last year was just, like I said, it was just a trial run. I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Mainly was just to see what kind of activity we could get. And exactly what I thought, because we are so event starved on the West Coast, it was pretty good. Right. This year, with the 2-day event, with all the people from last year talking about all the cool things they got at Fishtoberfest, I predict we'll hit $2,000 to $2,500, maybe even $3,000 this year. I really believe that.
You have speakers also, right? How many speakers do you usually do?
Now, last year I think I overdid it. For the 1-day event, I had 5 speakers. We had 5 different talks, which I don't want to do again. This year I'm going to have 3 on Saturday, probably a morning speaker on Sunday, and then at 1 o'clock we're going to start the auction. And I plan to have auction the entire rest of the day. We didn't have an auction last year either.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts about the Clash is Sunday is the auction, and it's an all-day auction.
Right. With the 1-day event, the reason I didn't do it last year, because I know how long auctions take.
Yes.
And the manpower it takes. So
absolutely. We had about, I want to say, 500 lots, give or take. It was a lot. Now in talks for 2023, I think we had 90 rooms in our block for like Saturday for this year. Next year, we already have 140 rooms, and I'm begging for another 40, which is their capacity. And we're probably going to start talking about setting up something with other hotels nearby also. But that's one of our biggest challenges.
Yeah, so one thing I thought ahead on was Embassy Suites has like 400, 500 rooms.
Right.
So I wanted to make it so should we ever get extremely big, where we have, and within 10 minutes of the event, because I put it at it's right next to the airport.
Right.
We probably have 15 more hotels within 5 minutes drive.
Yeah, you're lucky. I gotta. If we continue to grow, we are gonna grow out of this place. Which sucks because they're really nice to work with too. But
How many days event is it as of since?
Normally it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Last year we didn't do anything on Friday.
Now this is the same one that Scott with King and Queens used to be part of all the time?
Yes. Scott was, let me think here. I believe he was chair 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say. Alshon's here. He probably knows better than I do. He's a wealth of knowledge. But, Scott was a big part of it because he was president and the creator of the Cyclic Club of York, which is our co-host club. Scott was a huge part of the Clash in the past. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited to hear about Fishtoberfest. I hope a lot of people stream from there. And
last year it was great. We had, then we do the DaniKen parties too.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, that's the part I think a lot of the YouTubers have fun at. I mean, last year was a blast. We had Lucas here, we had Dan, we had Bob Steenfott was here, Alex, Shanna, Ian, Bates and Genetics. I mean, there was probably 15 YouTubers here last year.
Oh, that's amazing.
But then with the normal club people too. So I mean, we had probably 40 to 50 people here last year for the after party. That went till about 3 a.m. So it was a good time. And this year's speakers are going to be amazing. We've got Bentley Pasco. We've got Dr. Anthony with the Amazon Research Center. We've got Alex again because he did such an amazing job last year. And the guy's got, like I'm telling you, if you could ever get Alex to come out there and speak for you guys, guy's got an incredible amount of presentations. He almost feels like the Sears catalog when he's saying, what would you like me to speak on, you know? Nice. But he did this one for us that was the history of aquarium keeping. And he went all the way back to the Roman times and just kind of did a presentation all the way up to the present, which everybody came out of there was like, wow. So I wanted him to do definitely again this year. And then our last one is Chris Biggs, the mad aquarist, Chris Biggs.
So we had Biggs 2 years ago, and he is just so much fun. And we had Lucas last year also.
Oh, Lucas is a blast.
And I am hoping, I know it's going to be tough for Lucas with his move and everything, but I'm hoping he does show up to the classes this year. I'd love to have him as a judge. I do need judges, by the way, people. If anyone has any judging experience, I do need some judges this year. We are running a little low.
On mute while I pack a bowl.
Let's see here. Have I not? Patty, worked 10 years. Oh, okay. Select Pet as a fish club president. Can understand. Looking forward to the break. Select Pet as a president. What club are you at, Select Pet? Hint, hint. Write you down on my notepad. Let's see here. Matt's here. Hello, Matt.
For 2023 Fishtoberfest, a Booty Boys presentation would bring a giant crowd. DaniKen Aquatics.
Can you imagine? Matt, did someone say the gun show?
Well, the
Will
main thing,
Dell.
though, the thing I'm most excited about this year, we're doing something new, and
Oh,
we're bringing in Stephen P. as he's going to do a couple of his songs, and then he's also going to MC the weekend and introducing speakers and whatnot. And
yes.
I saw the guy's energy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance. I don't know how people are going to perceive this because fish people sometimes are all about fish, but Stephen does fish songs.
Right.
So
Right. We
I think
we had Rachel 2 years ago as our MC, and I think Chris Biggs may have helped with that, or was it a previous year? I forget. But Rachel was MC. I do remember that. Scott's Aquatics, 5,000 square feet for the expo hall. That does sound exactly right for this year. And Select Pet. Yes, Facebook boosting works if you set parameters good and have an informative, creative, eye-catching image. Yep. At the last minute. Yeah, Alshon, that, like I said, we're just over 100 people right now, which is more than we've ever had before. But I am expecting that, and which would that would work, because if they're local, they might not need the hotel room either. Oh crap! What did I do? It just jumped on me. All right. If you have trouble finding hotel rooms, Airbnbs, a lot of people already do that. Select Pet. Scott ran the event for at least the first 3 years. Yes, that sounds right. I think it was Scott did the first 3, and then Wes did the next 2, maybe, and then I did the last one in this one. Stephen P., hello and welcome. Alex is so smart. Yes, indeed.
well, he's in Lexington, Kentucky, huh? Bluegrass Fish Keepers of Lexington, Kentucky.
Nice.
So I'll bet you his club's got to be helping with the ACA this year, then, I would imagine.
I can imagine. All right, we are all caught up. No car. What else do I got for you, Kenny? Favorite memory we talked about. Tell us about your club meetings. Walk us through the meeting.
Generally speaking, I'll start the meeting off with any announcements we might have. At that time, like if we have a BAP or HAP or IAP award, I generally like to give those before we start with our speaker. And then most importantly, the thing I like to do is if we have people that have never been to a club meeting before, I'd like them to introduce themselves, tell us what they keep. I try to make sure when they're there for the first time that we're engaging and they see that we're very interested, that they're here, and give them a feel that we're a community right off the bat. And
that helps a lot. Yeah,
absolutely. Then generally we'll start, if we have a speaker that month, we will have our speaker. That generally takes about 45 minutes to an hour. They'll do their thing, and then when they come out of the speaker, generally give them about a 15-minute break, give them an opportunity to see what's coming up for auction. And then after the 15 minutes, I'll start the auction, which generally I can get the auction done in about an hour, hour and a half.
What's that, about 100 lots?
It varies. We just probably had 400 to 500 at the last meeting, but it was our annual plant sale.
Right.
So,
I remember you prepping for that.
Yeah. So that's the only reason. That generally speaking, though, it's about 100.
What is IAP?
That's your invertebrates. So we have shrimp, crawfish, snails.
So you do a separate one for that. That's interesting. Okay. And, and that's actually one of my other questions that I have here is about your HAP and BAP. I've never heard of IAP, but I like that also. Do you have a lot of involvement in those programs?
Oh, in my club, especially the horticulture, the plants. I mean, that's huge in our club. Well, you got to remember, we got Atkins in our club. We've got Ryan Brown from P&W Aqua. I mean, we've got a lot of plant type keepers in our club. And then my Danny, I mean, she loves plants. But yes, it's a very active group in our club.
A lot of clubs around here struggle with them. HAP is not very popular in the clubs.
I think the reason being your guys' clubs out that way are very very heavily cichlid oriented.
Yes.
Where
Yes,
out
for
here,
sure.
I kid you not, I had some of the most amazing Turkana jewels. Bright red, beautiful babies. I couldn't get $1 a fish for them.
Really?
And I watched when I went to the ACA last year.
Yeah.
Bags of 10 were bringing $250 to $300. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck? I should have brought my tank full here, But you'll find when you get out here, Portland, Seattle, it's all about nano. It's about guppies. It's about rainbow fish. It's about any nanotype. A lot of the different tetras and whatnot, dwarf cichlids,
Wow.
so the apistos, rams, stuff of that nature. Cichlids are there's a group of us out here, but it's not nearly as popular as the nano species type tank.
Okay. Interesting. That's one thing I love about watching YouTube and doing these streams. Now that I'm going live, is learning about these different clubs and how different it is geographically. It's quite fascinating. The BAP is definitely more popular than HAP around here for sure. And a couple of the clubs also do writers awards programs, trying to get them for different articles for the newsletters, the monthly newsletters, and everything like that. And that's an even bigger struggle. It's very, very, very minimal participation for that.
Now, are you guys still doing your the cichlid contest and the photography and all that contest still too, or?
I'm not familiar with it.
Didn't you guys used to do a cichlid show where you bring a fish in, or am I thinking a different club?
So at the Clash, we do have the fish show.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. We have the fish show. Usually around 300 to 400 fish or entries, because you can put plants in it, you can put inverts in it, and arts and crafts and photography. So, for example, Bex is going to be a vendor this year, and I am hoping, and I'm pretty sure she is, going to put some artwork into the fish show also. So yeah, we do have that, and I'm hoping, and I have a strong suspicion, we're going to break 400 for this year for the fish show. And we, of course, have awards for that, not only for the individuals, but also for the clubs that bring in the most fish show entries. When you register your fish, you put your club affiliation, and they can get awards also.
Yeah, myself, I've never been one, and I know it sounds foolish, but I just can't justify taking one of my beautiful, healthy fish, throwing them in a vase or whatever,
right?
Taking them across the country, throwing them in another tank, then recapturing them, stressing them out, putting them in another bucket.
Yeah.
It just, and I know it changed their own. I mean, I don't think I would do that even for like a local event.
Right.
I just don't want, it's just not, for a ribbon, I just can't, I can't justify the stress that it put my fish through,
Right. And it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, Scott was laughing at me about that. But because Scott and I did that show Fish Head, so we talked a lot about fish events and whatnot together. So, but he always made fun of me about that. He's like, because he always wanted me to put that parrot tilapia up there, and I'm like, not worth it, Scott, not worth it.
I am hoping I can get him to make a guest appearance at the Clash this year, even if it's just for an hour or two. I'm hoping.
Well, what you got to tell him to get it. Nowadays he's really into photography.
Right.
So you got to use that angle. We were really hoping to get somebody that knows what they're doing in here to
take some pictures and also to be the judge for the photography class.
Yeah, I think he would dig that. If you brought him in that angle, because that's all he's about at this point. I mean,
yes, it is.
And he's doing a great job. I mean, I've seen some of his work. I mean, I miss him for the other thing, but that's just being selfish. I mean, you got to allow a guy
I agree with you. I'm right there with you.
I mean, you got to do what your heart does, because guess what, guys? as I'm learning, life is way too freaking short. Do what makes you happy, not what you think you should.
Right.
Because
I learned a lot from that man. He was definitely a mentor of mine. Not only as a fish keeper and being a part of the clubs, but also obviously with the Clash, for sure. Let's see here. I think I have asked everything. Or if I didn't ask it, you already said it, which is even better. I like that. What are your goals for the club and for you at yourself in the club world?
Always our number one goal with the club is more memberships, more people in our club. And then my main goal, once I get them there, is to give them knowledge, give them what they're looking for, get them hooked into the BAP program. You know, that's the thing. Once they get there, you get them into the BAP program, the HOP program. It gives them a goal, you know, and we are very active. I mean, Danny, bless her heart, has been doing it for the club. She's been the one in charge. She works for Intel. When she got and took over this club's BAP program, everything was on hard paper, and she had to go and research everything. She now has put it all on a thumb drive. The next person who starts this month with it plugs the plug drive right, puts in the new information. Then it automatically will tell them who has hit a goal or who's hit this, what award to get it. She's put the number of who they need to call to get the award. I mean, so we're very big when somebody hits those. Presentation, we make sure that we do it in front of the club.
Yeah.
Whether it be they're hitting their 5 or their breeder, you know, master breeder award.
Yeah.
I mean, we just at Fishtoberfest last year we awarded a grandmaster breeder who is someone who has bred 100 species of fish.
That's a lot.
Which we've only got 3 in our club total.
Yeah.
And this club's been around for, I think they said 40 years now. So to only have had 3 over. I mean, we've got several that are, I think, will hit it pretty quick. I mean, we've got one guy, Regis, that he averages 5 BAPs a month usually, it seems like. He's always between BAPs and hops. So
yeah, that's amazing. It's like I said, it's fascinating just hearing the difference in attendance that Fishtoberfest brings versus the Clash. And we are the largest hobbyist run all species show in the area. And I've heard people say in the country. Now, do you do a show at Fishtoberfest?
not yet.
Okay.
We've been talking about it, and again, I'm trying not to give my opinions on it because I know people like it, but it's tough for me. Yeah. But I don't say it. I say whatever you guys want to do. All I'm going to say is I'm not judging. I'm not going to be a part of it. I've got enough on my table with this part over here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, last year I had 5 amazing speakers, and because I was president, I didn't get to see a one of them. Yeah, I mean, and that's
I can relate to that completely.
Right, and one of which was Lawrence Kent, which if you've ever had the opportunity to watch that guy speak, I mean, he was amazing. And then we had Lucas, we had Alex, we had who all did we have last year? Oh, Jason with Redfish, Bluefish, then Dan's Fish. Oh, and I didn't get to see any of them. I mean, that's the, again, not complaining, but there are sacrifices. If you ever want to be one of the officers for your club, just remember there are sacrifices that will be made. Many hours of phones and negotiations, and it's not an easy thing. And then you gotta get the fish bags. You gotta get the. I don't know if you guys get that. I'm sure you do. You got your T-shirts and all that.
Oh yeah.
I mean that all takes somebody calling and sitting on the phone for
and designing it and making sure you have every sponsor. We put all of our sponsors on the shirts.
Right.
And,
we
on the back
chose not to do that because we want where 2022, 2023. We just made a Fishtoberfest shirt with our emblems is what we're going to have, and the reason we did that so if they don't sell.
Right.
You don't have dead stuff laying there. Where
Yeah.
if it just says Fishtoberfest, you bring it next year and you're
Yeah.
rolling again. You know.
We any leftovers, which we usually don't have too many. We do our best to count how many people we're gonna have, and with registrations, and it's a lot easier when it's being a lot smaller.
Now, do
in
you guys
attendance.
charge for your event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is yours free?
Yeah, we
Oh.
I have incorporated the cost to be covered by sponsorship and table vendors.
Okay.
The reason that I fought wholeheartedly for this is you would not believe if you charge somebody even $20 how all of a sudden they're not interested. Over $20. Where if it's free, I promise you, whether it be club membership or one of your vendors, which is going to make them happy,
right?
That $20 is going to come out of their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't need to collect it at the door. I figure it's going to be spent at one of my vendors' tables, or hey, that might be the $20 needed to become a member of Guppus. You know,
we this year the pricing is $100 for registration, and that gets you to see all the speakers and attend the awards ceremony. You get a goodie bag that alone is probably worth $20 to $50. You get a shirt, so
you get really, something for that $100.
Oh, you get a lot for it. Yes, and we do early bird discounts. So in the very beginning, it was $50, and then we're doing a Fishtober package where if you have X amount of subscribers and you mention us at least 2 times in your streams or videos, that you could get an even bigger discount also. And then vendor spaces this year is $50, and well, yeah, that's pretty much. And then you can do like an a la carte package where if you're not going to be there every day, if you're only going to be there one day, or you're just going to be there for the auction, it's really cheap. But $100 this year, it's probably the highest it's ever been. But with all of our fees and everything, we had to for the expo hall, and I mean it's thousands and thousands of dollars to run the show. And then also, we're trying to figure out how can we do this next year, because we're going to get even bigger, and we really don't want to raise the cost that much. It was a huge discussion to go from last year's price of $75 to $100 this year. We really didn't want to.
That's why it took me months, but math is my thing. I know how to, coming from the auto industry, I know how to squeeze, 10 cents out of a nickel,
Right.
But I just, as long as I'm president, there'll never be a charge at Fish. And the reason being, if you set it up the way that we did, your tables and your sponsorship should be covering your costs.
Yeah.
So and everything else is bread and butter coming in,
So is it a big fundraiser for you, or is it more of a you try to host it and break even?
If we break even, I'm happy.
Okay. So ours is our biggest fundraiser for both events.
Now I see what you're okay.
And that's how we operate every year is the money we make during the year through the auctions and memberships and raffles through the year, it covers it helps, but really the Keystone Clash is the fundraiser for both clubs.
Okay.
And we split it.
Yeah, we do quite well with our plant sale and some of the other things that we do throughout the year. So, and again, we are quite comfortable with our numbers that we keep year to year. So we 40 years, they know exactly what their speakers are going to cost next year. I mean, it's so, but that's just our club. But
interesting. See, like I keep saying, it's so fascinating just hearing about other clubs. Let's see, a couple things I want to highlight is that, because we were talking about this, Alshon said auctions in this area are not as cichlid-centric as they were years ago. where once you would see a 50-60% cichlids, now maybe 10 to 15%. So that's
Really?
interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I went to the ACA, baby, it was all cichlids.
Yeah. Select Pet, the best fish breeders we have here, won't even bring their fish to bowl shows, afraid of fish stress, which is a valid point. Have a live photo contest between Scott of King and Queen and Mo Devlin.
That would be
amazing.
Yeah.
I like that. Mo Devlin's a great.
Well, Mo, if I remember right, is the one that got Scott into photography, is he not? Or a big influence?
That would make sense. I know they are very close.
They're real close, and I think Scott has a great deal of respect for Mo. So,
Jersey used to do a big one. Hello, Michelle E. And
what's up, Michelle? Crowntail half moon.
And Alshon, speaker expenses are very high. Plane fare from Canada, Texas, etc. Paying for hotel rooms and meals. Absolutely, it's easily. Most of the clubs or I should say, 2 of the clubs I'm a part of, usually pay like $100 at least for just a stipend for the or an appreciation fee, I'll say, for the speakers, plus cover the costs. And it's easily a couple $100 around here. So, all right. Anything else you would like to add, Kenny? Believe it or not, we've been going for an hour already.
What?
Yeah.
Well, as always, guys, catch DaniKen Aquatics, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday night with me and Miss Danny. If you have never been to one of mine, Danny makes it all worth it, usually.
I remember my first time watching you guys. I sent a message to, I forget who. It may have been Steven or Rico or Lefty or Skipper or someone saying, who the heck is this person that won't stop laughing? but it is her laugh and hearing her laugh and watching your stream is just as addicting as watching FishTube is altogether.
Yeah,
and I'll sit there and I'll be watching and so I got to be careful because sometimes I'm doing this at work and all of a sudden she'll start laughing and I'll start laughing. I'll run past my office like, what the hell? And but yes, your streams, I love them. Sometimes the late night ones are harder to watch for me because the time difference and going to work the next day. But I learn a lot, and like I was saying backstage, I want to watch the some previous fish room tours because I didn't know you had those 2 tanks next to each other, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So it's great.
Yeah, and then the other project I've been doing, I've got into streaming Friday nights with Fish Room Fever and Chattanooga every Friday night. And
I watched that on the replay today. That was my going-to.
Hashtag Booty Boys.
Yes. Yes. What a story. What a story that was.
Been having fun with those guys. Every time us 3 get together, it's always a blast.
Ed is just the shit that comes out of Ed's mouth sometimes.
Oh, yeah. You think he's funny while he's on a stream. Have you met him in person yet?
No, but he is coming to the Clash.
Yeah, that's where you get to see the real Ed, man.
I am so excited. So excited.
Ed is you think he's funny on camera. Wait till you meet him live.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great time. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I was just stuck in a car with him and James for like 10 hours each way. So, I mean, Ed had me sometimes where, I could barely breathe, snot running down my nose, laughing so hard. I mean, he's that funny.
Wow. Well, I hope that next year I get to go to more events and see you guys. And it is definitely one of my goals to visit your home sometimes because that would be amazing. Just hearing everyone talk about it, that would be great. And I hope to get you to the Clash.
I plan to try to make it out there next year, maybe.
Hello, Zen, Ginger, and 3G. Unfortunately, we are just about out of time. I'm not sure if Ed and Rico and everyone is going at the 8 o'clock time or not. I'm not sure if those have changed. Just a couple reminders, like I mentioned in the beginning, please keep Rico in your thoughts. they just lost their puppy. Very sad. Don't forget tomorrow night to check out Mystery Snail Guardians video that's coming out. That should be a good time.
7:05 p.m. directly after DaniKen Aquatics.
Yes. So you should watch DaniKen Aquatics first. That would be the best thing to do. That's what my plans will be for tomorrow night. So, all right. Thank you again, Kenny, and thank you everyone that watched and watches the replay. Have a great night, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.